So I'm in Beckley, West Virginia, and this is the most dangerous city in the state of West Virginia, and it looks like suburban America. You got people just randomly crossing the street here. Yep, okay, dude. It really just looks like suburban America right now. And the population here is 16,000, and it's been declining very quickly since, guess what year? You got it, 2020. The summer of Floyd destroyed this city as well. Their population they're losing they've lost 5% of their population since the summer of Floyd. It's 72% white, 17% black, 2% Asian, and a very small percent Hispanic. The average age is 41, and this is another city in West Virginia that's supposed to be bad, that has a large senior population. There, 27% of their population is seniors here. So over 1 in every 4 people are seniors, and it's kind of killing me that these towns have this high of a senior population and they're still considered bad. They have a 59% home ownership rate, which is really good. And I've noticed, like, just in the cities I've looked at in West Virginia, they have a very high home ownership rate compared to other cities or other states in America. The average income is $36,000. It's a little on the low side, but not, really low. They have a 22% poverty rate, which is kind of normal for a bad city. Approximately 1 in every 5 people live below the poverty line. That's kind of normal for these kind of cities with higher crime. 38% marriage rate, again, just kind of normal, a little on the low side. 71% of the people that live here were born in either this city or West Virginia. And this is another city in West Virginia that is reporting that 98% of their citizens or of their residents were native-born Americans. For whatever reason, at least at the cities that I've looked at in West Virginia, they don't have a very large foreign-born population. Not even a little bit. It's almost, the cities are almost all native-born people. They have 1 to 3 homicides a year, which, depending on the year, gives them a murder rate between 6 and 18 because of their population. So I always use Chicago as a gauge because people think Chicago is the worst city in America when it comes to homicides. As far as using the per capita, the murder rate is 22 in Chicago, and the murder rate here when they get 3 is 18. So they're very close. Like, if they got 4 homicides in 1 year, their murder rate would be higher than that of Chicago. Their assault rate here is pretty high. It's between 550 and 750. And Chicago's in the mid 500s. So their assault rate is, on a good year, equal to that of Chicago, and on a bad year, much higher than that of Chicago. Their theft rate is really high, and this is common in a lot of these West Virginia cities. The theft rates are super high. Since 2020, it's over 4,500 per 100,000 people, with 2022 going as high as 6,600. That's really high. The violent crime is 101% higher than the national average, regular city bad. Property crime, 294% higher. That's huge. That's really bad for property crime. Your odds of becoming a victim of a crime, 1 in 12. Again, that's really bad. Their year-over-year crime is showing an increase of 23%. A number that if they keep that up for, even another year, you do 2 years in a row of that and your numbers are getting out of control fast. The Woodrow Wilson High School in Beckley graduates 80% of its students. West Virginia, on average, graduates 90% of their students. And 20% are proficient at math. The West Virginia average is 33, so it's worse than the West Virginia average, which is already low. And they do 49% for reading. The West Virginia average is 42%, so it's a little better there. The U.S. average is 48% for kids graduating proficient at reading and math. So graduating 20% that are proficient at a 12th grade level for math is not that great. And with stats like that, the cities, and with a huge year-over-year crime increase, the city's not heading in a good direction. But it doesn't, when you're just looking at it, it doesn't look all that bad. It's not really dirty. There's no graffiti. There's no garbage everywhere. The streets aren't lined with homeless people. It just looks like your average city. It has high crime and a lot of thefts. Let's go down one of these roads. I'm not going to film too much more here because it's not really a city that, it's the most dangerous. None of these cities, oh, can't go, it's one way. None of these cities in West Virginia are overly bad. This one, statistically, I get it, it's the worst. It's still not, it's not putting you in the ballpark of any of these cities that are horribly bad. Only because it fluctuates so much, because their population is so small. It only takes a couple of incidents to throw everything out of whack. So one year it might be really low, it might be really good, and the next year they get a couple more homicides or something, and then it's super high and the city's stats look bad. So even with the year-over-year crime increase that they're showing, it's possible next year that it's showing a decrease of 50%, and we're just going to drive up through here. This is the downtown area, and that's about all I'm going to do driving through here, because it's not, like I said, there's nothing. People watch these and they want to see the graffiti, they want to see, the buildings all look horrible and stuff like that, and this just really isn't that kind of city. And it's possible that a lot of the crime that they have here, a lot of the assaults, which are the majority of the problem they have here, it could be anything. It could be bar fights, it could be domestic violence, and you look at the city and it looks completely fine and you'd never know, and it's just stuff that's a little more hidden, or like bar fights a little more acceptable in a way than you're walking down the street and somebody jumps you, beats you up, and steals all your money. What you doing there, dude? Okay, so we're just gonna go through here a little bit and then see what the downtown looks like, and then we'll call it a day through here, because I don't think we're gonna see. That's just a dude sitting there. Well, maybe he's homeless. I don't think so, though. He just looks like he's just sitting there enjoying the sunshine, getting his daily dose of vitamin D. There we go. But it's kind of cute, looks like any small town. It's actually really clean. Really clean. And this is literally what, if you look up the most dangerous cities in West Virginia as a state, Beckley's the one that comes in at number 1. And statistically, it can't be bad, but for the most part, it's decent. And it's extremely clean for a downtown. But it's small. There's only 16,000 people here, so it's not a big city at all. So I'm just gonna wait and turn here, and then we'll go down a couple more blocks just to see if anything pops up, but I'm not expecting to see anything bad here. There's not people even hanging out on the streets. Most of the storefronts, at least that I've gone past, which haven't been that many, appear to have businesses in them. So I don't think we're gonna find much, but we're gonna go down one more block and just see what else this looks like.